Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night. It's Rakkety here. Ethan from reading Brian Jack's Rakkety Tam, chapter 34, The Abbot Looking into the Night Sky. Please like and subscribe. Abbot Humble is halfway between sleep and wakefulness and the gray dawn when he realized that some beast was pounding on the wine cellar door. Raising his bed slowly, the old hedgehog called out hoarsely, "Who in the name of seasons is banging like that?" The sound had roused up young Burlo, who hastened to the door, assuring the abbot, "I'll see who it is, Father. Don't disturb yourself." Humble sat up in his little truckle bed, rubbing his eyes and yawning. He looked up and found himself confronted by Sister Armel. "What is it, sir? Has some beast been taken ill? Do I need my help in the infirmary?" Armel sat down at the side of the bed. "Nothing like that, Father, but I must speak with you." Blinking dozily, Humble held up a paw to silence her. "Wait, don't tell me. You've had a bad dream. Martin the warrior had spoken to you, am I right?" Astonished at the evident on Sister's pretty face. But how did you know?" The old hedgehog smiled indulgently at his young friend. "Because I've had one too, and it came back to me the moment I looked up and saw you standing here." Armor's big brown eyes went wide. "Martin sent me a message in verse. Listen to this." Before she could speak further, Humble repeated the words line by line. "Behold, 2 swords and a banner. Watch out for the walking stone. The brother is gone. 'Tis the warrior who must face the savage alone." Sister Emil gasped the abbot's paw. "Those were Martin's very words, Father. What does it mean?" Humble shook his head. "If I knew that, Armel, I'd be wiser than any beast who ever ruled Redwall Abbey as abbot." Brother Burlo arrived with 2 pottery beakers of freshly brewed mint and comfrey tea. "Just a little something I made for the forge fire for you. Be careful, sister. It's hot. You and Father sip that till it'll wake you up while you talk. Don't mind me. I'll just go about my chores." They thanked Burlap. Armel watched him strapping on his heavy coppering apron and trotting off with an empty cask. "He's such a kind and caring creature, isn't he, Father?" Humble blew steam from his beeper and sipped gratefully. "The best. Young Burlap's the son I never had. Now what about our dream, sister?" They were interrupted by a thump against the door, and muffled squeaks from the stairs outside. After another thump and the frowning little head of Mizzy, the mouse babe, appeared around the door. "Sister Hamrel, that naughty Mudge be's pulling me tail." Mudge the mole babe could be heard behind her. "Oh no, I ain't. You tellin' tales with your tail. 'Tis just what to get in trouble." The door creaked open and revealed both Dib still in the night skirts wrestling. "Who you pulled me mouse nose? Look at me, Mom. She's tormenting me greatly." Mizzy let out the piteous wail. "Well, Mud's just stamping on me paw." Armo smiled apologetically at the abbot. "Sorry, Father. Our talk will have to wait till later." She hurried to the stairs and separated the tiny pair. "Be still, both of you. What are you doing out of bed? 'Tis nowhere near breakfast time yet. The morning bell hasn't even sounded and you're running around down here in your nighties. I can't abide naughty Diblins, nor can Father Abbot." Tearfully, Missy pointed an accusing paw at Mudge. "He woke me up and hit me with his pillow." The mole babe stuck out his small fat stomach reluctantly. "No, I didn't. You must a good mousy fibber." "Yes, you did." "No, I didn't. Didn't." Narrow raised her voice. "Silence, both of you. Mudge, did I tell you only yesterday about fighting with your friends?" The mole babe growled out indignantly. "You only told me not to fight with Perkle, ma'am. You didn't say about fighting with Missy." Arnold wagged a paw severely at him. "I meant all Dibbins, not just Perkle." Mudge stared at Sister paintingly and threw up his paws. "Then you should have said all, and Owlsby's supposed to know." Abbott, a weird, fully dressed, a broad smile was growing over his face as he grabbed both Dibbins by their paws. Sister Mel, what do you say we take these two rogues up to breakfast? I'm sure Friar Grisham is up about now, but still we have to ask him nicely because I don't think he serves early breakfast to naughty Dibbins. Come on. All four retreated upstairs, chattering animatedly. Does the abbot be naughty too, Sister Mel? Certainly not, Missy. You have a good if you want to be an abbot. Isn't that right, Father? It certainly is, Sister Amel. I was a good little Dibbin. No, you weren't, sir. Wondering Walt said you were a little villain. Oh, he did, indeed. I'll have to have a word with Wondering Walt. Good and naughty when I'm an abbot. I'm gonna be naughty when I'm an abbot. Huh. You're growing up and probably make you an abbey villain. Oh, abbey villain. I likes the Gertie, man. Morning brought with its soft gray skies and fine drizzle of warm rain, which many Redwallers predicted would last through mid-moon. There was plenty to do inside the abbey. Every beast busied themselves with a multitude of chores. Sister Emerald sat on the infirmary with Abbot and Sister Screeve, trying to figure out the meaning of Martin's cryptic message. Outside, Brother Dimple tended to his vegetable patch and orchard. True son of soil, Dimple was never bothered by rain. The tolerant mouse made a hood which went over his head and shoulders from an old sack he wore on alone, weeding between the drills of his salad crop. The abbot gardener was totally unaware of the activity on top of the east wall. Rakkety Tam Ch had scaled a high elm close enough to the outside of the woodlands. He raced along the broad branch which quivered upon up and down as he bounced upon it. With a tremendous bound he flung himself out into space. No other beast but Tam could have accomplished such a daring feat. His paws landed on the battlement. There he clung for a moment before leaping up and over, landing silently on the walkway, drawing a small cigarette from his hat, and the squirrel warrior cautiously descended from the east wall steps and quietly opened the wall gate, leaving Skipper and the long patrol hares to follow him. Tam raced through the deserted, drizzle-cloaked battleground, headed for the hooded figure he had espied. Hit from behind, Brother Dimple went down like a sack of cabbages. The borderer spun over swiftly, clamping a paw across Dimple's mouth. He whispered urgently, "Brother, I don't have time for a idle chat, understood?" Dimple nodded, and Tam continued, "Has the abbey been attacked by vermin?" Eager for an answer, Tam released his paw from Dimple's mouth. The gardener licked his lips nervously. "Aye, they actually got inside the grounds." The border squirrel's jaw tightened. "Where are they now? Inside?" Brother was sat up. "No, they were all slain. We buried them out in the flatlands." Skipper and his hares gathered around him. "I say, good show, what? Indeed, old lad. At least the chaps we left behind didn't spend all their time jolly well feasting and napping, which we were dashing around in the blinking woodlands." Brother Dimple wiped about drizzle from his eyes. "We helped the hares. In fact, the Redwallers actually took out quite a few of the vermin. How did you lock it in? Get on." Skipper helped Dimple up. "Oh, well, we did a bit, mate. Just let us out in this rain. We swapped yarns over a good meal. You're dealing with hungry beasts here." Every beast came rushing into the great hall to meet returning creatures. Friar Grisham threw up his paws in alarm, squeaking at his helpers. "Stoke up the fires, load up the ovens. We need lots of fresh bread, extra salad, cheeses, pastries, mushroom and cauliflower soup, a crumble, 6 large rhubarb and blackberry crumbles with sweet arrowroot sauce, scones, extra batch of hot scones with plum and damsel preserve. Hurry 'em along, Mallory. These famine-faced hares need feeding." The mole hitched up her pinafore. "Good seasons, giddy from under me paws, you Dibbins. We've got lots of wrinkling to be done." Abbot Humble embraced Tam fondly. "Welcome back to Redwall Abbey, my friends. Welcome, Mr. McWhirl. Thank goodness you're safe and well." Tam found himself gazing over the abbot's shoulder into Sister's gentle brown eyes. He winked at her roguishly. "I've sworn down abbey walls and back here with you, Sister." "I would have torn down the abbey walls to be back here with you, Sister." She cast her eyes down, smiling. "Is that a compliment or a threat, Tam?" Releasing himself from Humble's grip, Tam bowed gallantly. "Beauty is to be complimented, not threatened. Armel, see, I keep my promise. I brought back the sword." She stayed his paw as he grasped Martin's blade. "Please keep it by you, Tam. I'll explain later, but the abbot and I think you'll have need of it." The border warrior looked puzzled. "But why?" Skipper was whirling his knee spurfloor round the floor. Both collided with Tam and Armel, almost knocking them over. The otter maid hooted in laughter. "Hoo hoo hoo! Never mind that now. Give the pretty sister a kiss. She's done nothing but mope since you went away." Armel glared approvingly at her friend. "Really, Brookie?" The hares had begun ragging their comrades good-naturedly. The one who had remained at Redwall were singing. "I can't believe my eyes. What horrible surprise. You're as welcome as a famine at the door. Look at the wind blew in, and beraggled wet and thin. And look at the mess you're making on the floor. Come sit down by the fire if you desire. There'll be of scoffs nowhere about. You missed breakfast, lunch, and tea, and I'll tell you candidly, you'll have to call again when we are out." Sergeant Munro's voice cut across the banter. "Now then, you dreadful lot, fall in line and get it down to the cavern hall, clean up, and get out of those rags. Cartwell, Fordamon, and Furmanty, issue 'em with the proper regiment tunics on the double now." Owing to the efficiency of Redwall's kitchens, lunch was prepared and laid out before midday. Lance, Jack, and Will Derry had brought Captain Furtimer up to date on the losses they had sustained, whilst the sergeant broke the news about Brigadier Krungsall to the returning hares. But nobody could give Tam any information about the whereabouts of his friend Doogie. Normally, Tam never much about his Highland friend. He and Doogie had been separated many times in the past. However, he could not help feeling a growing anxiety about Doogie. This was confirmed as he sat down at the table with Armel. She recited Martin's words to him. "Behold, 2 swords and a banner. Watch out for the walking stone. The brother is gone, 'tis the warrior who must face the savage alone." The border looked grim. "So is that why you told me to hold on to Martin's sword?" He turned to Skipper. "Do you think old Grullo is still alive, Skip? Maybe the waterfall didn't kill him." The otter chieftain looked up from the bowl of shrimp and hot root soup, which Friar Gruesome had made specially for him. "Well, according to the old Logalog Togi, no beast could ride over those falls on a log and live. Logalog of the Gushams knows what he's talking about when it comes to rivers and streams, mate. But who could tell that Gulu ain't no beast like we've ever seen." The homecoming meal was not a jolly event, but Abbot Humble had hoped it would be. There was an undercurrent of sadness over the lost cameras. Even the long patrol hares seemed to lack of their usual gaiety through 'em. Hilary and Jem noted they had all lost none of their ravenous appetite. "Ain't joking and singing much, but those buckos certainly tugging rations away, huh, Tam?" The warrior chuckled. "I am a wee bit peakish myself." Sister Armel passed him a hot leek and mushroom pasty. "Don't you been missing our cooking?" "No doubt you've been missing our cooking." Tam tackled the pasty appreciatively. "I wonder some of you Redwallers aren't as fat as barrels, eating food as delicious as this. By the way, Armel, I don't see our Gosock Turgan around. Is he still with you?" Armel topped up a tinker in October elf for Tam. "Don't mention that bird to me. He's become very sulky and bad-tempered because his wing hasn't healed yet. I think he also misses the Brigadier lot, which they were such close friends. I worry about Turgan, but he's taken a living in the attics above the dormitories, so he won't talk to any beast. We never see him at meals. I think he just eats very little, He never comes to the infirmary. I think Turgan is feeling forlorn. Wandering, Walt dug up his spoon into a corn bowl and served himself a hefty portion. Now, that ain't surprising me, Missy. You bird were used to flying and hunting all his life. Be good hawk, be broken wing, no ma'am. The sultry would talk went back and forth over the lunch. Outside, the drizzle rain continued for longer, and the red walrus had predicted. After eating, some of the hares retired to the dormitories, while the others went to the cavern hall to nap, and the dual noontide away. Whist sister Armel tended to the Dibbons. Tam went outside. He roamed the wall-tops, peering into the misty veils of the drizzle, and hoped that he would spy the short, sturdy figure of Doogie Plum returning to Redwall Abbey. But there was no sign of his Highlander friend. Alright, next time we'll read about chapter 35. Hope you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.